So is the VA it's a government program? It's a government entity. So it's like
It's a government entity, Department of the Veteran
taxpayer
Affairs,
funded.
taxpayer funded. Yes, your
So
tax dollar.
there has to be a lot of bureaucracy that gets in the way.
Oh yes.
So are there private entities that like the VA that can also help, or I guess no, other nonprofit. I guess nonprofits even some can
Yeah,
be
nonprofits
government
too.
subsidized. But is there like a private fund that can kind of not cut the corners, but just rip off the red tape that it comes with bureaucracy?
Oh wow. So you have a couple of options here, right? You can have organizations like the VFW, the American Legion, and Disabled American Veterans. Those orgs are, private, semi-private orgs, nonprofit orgs that will advocate for the veteran on behalf of them to the VA or to another government entity. You have a lot of nonprofits. In my state, I think there's almost like 800 veteran-centered nonprofits in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So the point is, to your point, is there's a lot of non-VA help out there if you know where to look and ask for it, which is why on the veteran too is, look, if you're told, hey, I got this Facebook group of fellow veterans that we all get together, we'll join that group. If there's a way you can collaborate, whether it's, I don't know, an archery event, a clay pottery event, a bowling event, go out and do those things and meet other veterans who are in your area who can tell you what to do and who to go talk to. So you got to take care of yourself too. But there are hundreds of nonprofit organizations that will either interface with the VA for you or provide their own sort of help.
Good. Well, I think a healthy mix is good, because I don't want to poo-poo into VA, but I do poo-poo on government bureaucracy every day of the week.
If I may,
Please.
So I got hurt really, really bad in 2021, and I got care from the VA post surgery. I blew out my quadricep tendon. It's actually what the ortho said. It's your old. I had an injury in the Marine Corps. He's like, that injury finally broke for real. The physical therapy care I got from the VA was light years better than what I've ever had from civilian PT. In civilian PT, they're like, okay, the insurance company says he gets 12 appointments. That's it. When he's done, he's done. And the VA system's like, hey, you know what? You're working real hard. We think another, 2 months of intense work will really get you on the right track. And it was amazing. It was amazing how I was treated there. They were nothing but fantastic with me. So, if you come there with a good attitude, do the work, good things are going to happen.
Good. I'm very glad to hear that. When it comes to like veterans, right? We think of the people who need help, the VA. We think of people who served overseas, right? People who were in combat. Now, I believe you did not go overseas, correct?
I did not go overseas.
So
no.
you were stationed here in the States. Now, I would assume it's more people who go overseas have these issues, but do people who just serve and never leave the States, do they also have issues? And like, what would the ratio be? And is it different circumstances for how people who stay overseas and how people who are overseas can get help?
I don't know about ratios or numbers of issues from stateside versus
Right.
deployment. There are plenty of things that can happen stateside. I lost 4 fellow Marines while I served, and I didn't want to admit at the time, but some of those deaths had an effect on me. Those are people, again, that I knew quite well, and you're sitting there as a 23-year-old guy, packing this Marine's truck up with belongings and inventory and everything, realize you're never going to see him again. That left an impression on me. There's things like that. There's military sexual trauma that can happen, which is a bad thing. Other things that can happen that can impact you. When you serve in combat overseas, it's a different world for certain. And I think they're trying to get better at, when you come back from a deployment, making sure that you're right before they ship you back out.